Hello, welcome to another Tutorial Tuesdays. Joe here from Copyhackers, joined today by the Copyhackers crew. These are all the full-time members of the Copyhackers team. We have got Mike, Paul, Sarah, Nicole, and Lindsay here along with me. We're talking today about something that we do at Copyhackers called Santa for an Afternoon. This was an alternative to a holiday party. We were working kind of remotely and there weren't enough, we couldn't all get together for a party. And we tried that before. And so we had this idea, what if we just went out in our community and did something for them? So that's where Santa for an Afternoon was born. And it is, you take $500, you take the afternoon off work, and you go out and you do something for somebody with it. It could be for a lot of people. It could be for one person. It might be anonymous. You might do it face to face. Our only real requirement is that you do it in a safe way. That doesn't make anybody on the receiving end feel weird if you can help it. And I know that's a little nuanced, but that's the idea. So not a lot of people want to receive charity is what it sometimes can feel like is the idea. So we just want to go out and do fun stuff for other people. I gave some examples in today's email. If you're not subscribed to Copyhackers, make sure you do subscribe, and then you'll see these tutorials and get our emails about them and all of that good jazz so that you've got context for what we're talking about. But yeah, we're going to talk now about really what some cool experiences are that we've had doing Santa for an Afternoon, because it's fun to talk about, and also in the hopes of, if you don't know what to do for the holiday season, to kind of enjoy it or do something to celebrate it, maybe you'll try Santa for an Afternoon too. So we're going to go, Paul, yeah, what do you want to add?
I was just going to say, could I go first because your comment about people not wanting to receive gifts?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fire away, Paul.
First year we did it, I lived downtown Vancouver. And so there was a lot of, there's a lot of
marginalized
people that need help. And so my idea was to just go around and try and talk to them and see what I could just do for them, just to make today better, right? I know I can't solve the issue, but just to make today better. And it did not go well. People were not receptive to
I didn't
assistance.
know that.
There were many who would just ignore me.
Yeah.
And then others kind of thought I was insulting them, and I was like, I had a Santa toque on, and I was trying to make it, festive. I'm just trying to do something. But then I did have a few people who were very receptive to it, and the things they wanted were it was really crazy, and I remember I got these two guys. They were sitting on a bench downtown Vancouver, and I just asked them if I could help them out at all today and just make your day a little better. And they literally just asked for gloves and socks. And so I ran to their roots down the street and I got them some gloves and socks, and they were just insanely happy about it. And I was like, wow, it didn't literally cost anything. It was gloves and socks.
Yeah.
And they were so happy about it. And yeah, that was just one of the good ones that I had from the very first year that we did it. But yeah, it was a lot of, that was my plan, was go out in the community and see. And it was a learning curve, definitely a learning curve as to how to assist or, just do that.
Yeah.
Doesn't this conversation ever remind you guys of, I'm going to get really pop culture, but back in the day, pop culture.
The 90s.
Yes, the 90s. The Friends episode where you're you don't do anything good. You do it for, even though that it's altruistic in nature, it's still, you're getting something back.
Yeah.
I think was Phoebe who was struggling with that, no, I can't feel good. You know what I mean?
That's right. And she kept getting good things and had to give it all away selflessly.
I can't feel there isn't, I guess the argument was there is no true altruism, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like Paul said, it's that feeling that you're I don't know if it's that it's better for us.
Yeah.
To be giving because it makes you feel so good.
Yeah. I know that tension there, right?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Sarah, do you want to go next?
Yeah. So my experience was a couple of years ago. I took the opportunity just to use it, of course, because I have children, as a learning opportunity, right?
Nice. Yeah.
So I took the boys out and we did, we went shopping for toys and put them in the, whatchamacallit,
The donation bin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And we usually do that anyhow, but this year it was for work. So it,
Yeah.
And I didn't get that one-to-one like Paul, right? That Paul would have had that, which is, I think that gives you that immediate dopamine, like, yes, I did something good, right? But then
it definitely does give you that. Yeah.
What's that?
It 100% gives you that immediate,
right?
Yeah.
And the other thing I liked about it was it made me, because I broke it up in like the funds up into a couple of things. And then I didn't realize there were, like, it made me look into organizations that exist in our area. I really wanted to keep it local. And then there's this company, it's a charity called Parachutes for Pets.
Oh,
such a good idea, because it helps pet owners who are, less fortunate, who are experiencing, either homelessness or some sort of hardship. And it helps them with medical expenses, with food for their pets.
Yeah.
It's such a good, and I didn't even know the organization existed. And then I went into another role and actually encountered people who were in that role, in that environment where they had nothing, but they had pets and they needed to get this pet to the vet. And I was like, hey, I know an organization. So it really raised awareness for me. And then, again, it's that sprinkling out into the community. But I love that idea that, okay, where, like, not the big ones, because there's obvious ones you can contribute to, but the big, like the little ones, I think it gives you an opportunity to look at that. So yeah, my experience.
Love it.
Yeah. Nicole, I'm going to pass it to you.
Sure. So mine was also from a couple of years ago. And my whole plan was to just go to the grocery store and basically buy out everything that I could possibly donate to the food bank. When I got there, I was like, oh, I actually didn't bring my car here. So thankfully they have the donation bins. So I was filling up my entire cart. And then I got a little bit overwhelmed just like looking at all of the stuff just on the shelves. So they have like the pre-packaged things that you can donate to the food bank. So they had like this huge bin of them and I just put them all in my cart. And then the cashier working there, she was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, do you want a picture? And like, we'll post it on our social media. And I was like, oh, okay, sure, I guess. They never posted it, which like thing, because it was like -20 outside. So I had like my scarf like all around, my hood up still, and just like all bundled up in my snowsuit. And I'm like, well, I'm glad they didn't post it, but still, it felt really good. I kind of feel a little bit bad for taking up all of the other donations that other people could have given, but it was still early in the year. I'm sure they refill it. So
they restocked.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. I just couldn't believe like how, I think this was a couple years ago before grocery prices went up like crazy, but filling up the entire cart, like I still had money left over to do, like I got like Tim Hortons gift cards for, just like a bunch of people too. So it was crazy how far that could all go.
Yeah.
That's what I found when I did the first one I went out, because it was, people didn't want to receive it. I went to the grocery store afterwards, my local grocery store, and bought, I think I had like, I don't know, like $420 left on my card. And I just bought a gift card for that and just gave it to the cashier and was like, yeah, whoever comes through, it's just cover whatever their bill is, and like, just don't tell them, just do it. And it was fun. I just kind of sat off to the side and the people were all just like, what? No, huh? And so many of them were like, oh my goodness, I have to like pay this forward or something, right? Because some of them needed it. Some of them were like, well, no, I actually, like, I don't, but I didn't want to judge. No, you look like you're rich. I don't want to help you. No, so it was just whoever comes up until the end of that money's gone. And it was so cool. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw mine to Lindsay.
So I've done Center for an Afternoon just the one time. But what I've done in previous years, and I did use some of the money that we got for this as well, is London Drugs does Santa for seniors every year.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and like I found it years ago. So my family, we stopped giving Christmas gifts to each other, and instead what we do is we go around and we donate and stuff like that. So I found Santa for seniors years ago. And basically there's a tree in London Drugs and they have names, and it's seniors who are in facilities who might not have family close or might not have any family at all. And they just need some cheer during this time of year. And so like they have a little list of items that they would like. And it's usually just like socks, slippers, books, puzzles, that kind of thing. And so we usually pick 4 seniors and we'll go around and we'll just shop for them. And we get everything that's on their list, and then we'll usually go around and get them extra things as well, because why not? So we do that for 4 seniors. And then the pet store near my place does the similar thing, but it's for animals in shelters. And so it's getting them like dog beds or cat beds and toys and treats. And so that's the other thing that we do, is we go around and help out animals as well, because like the one thing that I always find is like the animals, they definitely didn't ask to be here, and they definitely need our help as well. And so that's just something that my husband and I like to do every year anyway. So it's just like we get to do it extra now with this. So yeah, no, and it's such a nice experience. But yeah, I totally understand the like not wanting to do face-to-face sometimes, because it can be awkward, and like you don't want people to feel like like Joe said, you know, like charity. Some people just don't want to accept it, and that's completely understandable. So it's anonymous, but it still makes you feel good as well, because you know you're helping someone.
Nice.
Great.
All right, so I will popcorn over to Mike.
Yeah, so it's obviously gone a couple different ways over the last couple of years. The first year we were just full on COVID lockdowns, I believe, still. So that was pretty much just almost like a straight donation to an organization. And then a couple of years ago, we did. There's a shelter that obviously was looking for some warm clothes, like jackets, toques, mitts, that sort of thing. So we ended up buying up a whole bunch and delivering them right to the shelter, which was like nice to get them to a place where it needs to get used, right? So I don't know, it's really cool because there's always, like, we're in a time right now when there's somebody somewhere that needs help with something, right? Whether that's on a small level or on a very large level. So this is like, I think when this initiative got announced, there was like zero. Like everyone was completely aligned with it. Everyone's just like, yeah, this makes perfect sense. We love this idea. And it's been really cool to be able to just go and do something that, you know, whatever small amount it is, it helps somebody. And it says chicken that pops into frame here. But yeah, I think one other thing that my wife really loves doing is there's one thing called like a holiday hamper, where these families that are looking to have like Christmas dinner, they sign up for it, and you can actually help them basically get everything they need to make sure that their Christmas goes off nice and smooth, which I think is just, it's really cool. And like my wife she did the deliveries last year, and she said like the impact on her was just unbelievable. Like the amount of like gratitude that came with it, and like to be able to take something that can be a very big, stressful, shameful, maybe sometimes period for somebody. And, you know, I think at all times, some of us have been there, right? So it's to be able to help out, that means a lot.
Yeah, it does.
It's Copyhackers' gift to us. It is, because it feels like we get such a good feeling from it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I know. I like it. I look forward to it every year. I'm so glad that we do it now.
Yeah. Joe, what about you?
Yeah. Well, sure.
Sorry,
so
Mike,
mine was,
I popcorned it to her.
there you go.
Pull your popcorn. Threw it to her.
So I went to London Drugs to do the Santa tree thing. I was like Santa for seniors thing. I'm pointing to Lindsay because she just said that. But it was already too late in the year. I think we do it usually like we just have to figure, maybe we should be doing it on Giving Tuesday going forward. That probably makes more sense. But anyway, so I went there, the Santa trees were already, like the seniors trees were already taken down. So I was like, abort mission, I'll have to figure something else out. So I went up to the cashier and I just bought gift cards as a starting point. I think about like a couple of $100 worth of gift cards. And I was like, I'll go figure something out somewhere else. But then when I was done checking out, I handed a gift card to the cashier for her to use for herself. And it was a really cool moment. I don't know how, there was an expression on her face that's like, it was nice for her to get that. And it was very nice for me to see that expression when giving that and know that you've done something kind of cool for someone. all impromptu. Didn't know it was going to happen that way. Didn't even just something was like, just give her one. And I did. And it was a really cool moment. So that's just one of the things I think that can happen. That really sat with me. It was fun. It was cool. So yeah, we'll do it again this year. In a couple weeks, I think is when we do it. So that's all. Any final notes or thoughts on Santa for an afternoon for anybody who's thinking of doing it?
Just do it. Just do it. It's honestly, I don't care if it's not even doing money. It doesn't have to be that. Just go out and give your time to someone. Just honestly, the feeling is insane. It's so good. It's like, it's 100 times better than going to a stupid Christmas party and being forced to hang out with people and their other people. No, it's not that. No, I'm not saying that's bad.
Hanging out with.
I'm not saying that's bad, but it just, I don't, even if they're your best friends, this feels better.
Yeah,
it does. It just good. Honestly feels better. And you can
still do those other things.
Yeah, you can still do those things too. Totally.
Yeah, you don't have to choose. You can do both.
You can do two things.
Yeah, totally. Okay, well, hopefully that's helpful to somebody or maybe like cheers you up today. Hopefully it is Giving Tuesday. This is one of the biggest days of the year for nonprofits. I'm sure you already know that. So do what you will with that. And thanks, team, for sharing your stories and, of course, for participating every year in Santa for an Afternoon.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks,
everyone.
Thank you.